athletes, it's time to fry up some chicken, okay? What we've already done is we've cut our chicken breast. We've only got a pound here. We've got our chicken breast cut into little strips, okay? Little strips. I've got 2 eggs in a little slip jar here. And then I took a half a cup of almond flour and a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, threw it in here, put a bunch of Italian seasonings in here, and just mixed it by hand. In the frying pan, I've got about 4.5, maybe 5 tablespoons of coconut oil, and this will be what we'll be frying it in a second. So, here's what I got to do. I'm going to take each chunk, and I'm just going to dab it into the egg, get it all goopy and sloppy and gross. I'm going to rub the extra slip off. Then I'm just going to batter it into the batter. So you're going to get a little slimy and a little sticky, but you know what? If you got kids, they're going to love it, okay? I'm not even a kid and I love it, okay? I like getting dirty. I just have a paper plate over here so that I can easily do it. And then, now, the reason I use as little batter as I can, right, is almond flour isn't exactly cheap, even though we get it from Walmart, which is nice. Same with our coconut flour. I'll start my oil. It sucks when you have to waste it, and because we use Italian seasonings, it's not like we can make it into pancakes or anything like that. So I found that, again, a half a cup of almond flour and a 1/4 cup of coconut flour does the trick. Now, you only have to batter them once, because the way these are fried, they're going to be already really sweet. So, fried chicken, right? For flour-free February, we're certainly bleached flour-free, but even though these are a lower carbohydrate meal, there's a lot of calories here, right? So, if your program doesn't require or acquire or allow you to have a bunch of fats, this probably isn't going to be great for you, okay? Just because, again, we're using eggs, we're using oil, we're using flour that's made from other nuts and seeds and things like that. So again, it's got a lot of calories to it, but when you're like we are, we only get as many carbs as we need, right? We're not overabundance in our carbs, so we can have a few more fats. And again, Courtney and I, we enjoy doing a little bit lower carbohydrate diet just because it just works for us, right? I'm a meat guy, she's a meat gal, right? We enjoy our fats, we like beef sticks, we like things like that, so a meal like this works great. And again, if your kids like to get a little sloppy, it can be fun too. Courtney, what are some other of your favorite meals that we eat?
I don't know.
You don't know? What about like zucchini?
Zucchini nachos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are something we need to be making, that's for sure.
Almond flour pancakes.
Ooh, we should do a video on zucchini nachos, right? Mm-hmm. Comment below if you want us to make a video on how we make zucchini nachos. We use a low-carb pita that's flour-free, and we use zucchini chips. What else do we make?
Almond flour pancakes.
Ooh, yeah, we could make a video on that too. But remember, your Kodiak cakes, 100% whole grain, right? Or at least 100% whole wheat. It makes it really good. How's my oil doing? Still warming up. And then other snacks that we like to do are those low-carb brownies, right? We got to make some cookies.
Ice cream.
Ooh, yeah. Some raspberry or strawberry ice cream. We could make your Neapolitan stuff.
Yeah.
I bet there's a way to do like a cocoa, right? We got to figure out how to do a chocolate. Then we could make our own Neapolitan. Look at that. We're going flour-free and we're going to go lower sugar too, right? So we're all about challenge and change over here. So again, for Courtney and I, going flour-free, not very tough, right? Besides not having a bunch of pizza, that's about as hard as it is on us. I mean, we enjoy our pizza, but we can easily make pizza pockets, which we'll show you how to do, using lavash bread and other, non-flour-based breads. And we make a lot of calzones and other things like that, and it just tastes so good. Ooh, I'm starting to get all sloppy. Right, all sloppy and gross. That's why I got a paper towel close. Not my first time. Not my first rodeo. So 1 pound of chicken breast is a ton, okay? It really does end up making a bunch. And depending upon the size that you cut your strips, you could be making your own chicken nuggets for your kids, right? Rather than frying them in a bunch of oil, you could bake them. We've never baked them, but if you guys do end up baking them, share that, right? Let other athletes know what you guys are doing so that they can do it as well. Here's a quick technique, save some time. Yeah. Be sure you guys are liking our page, right? Subscribing to our videos if you like them. We're going to be doing a lot more cooking in the kitchen with Courtney videos. Courtney right now, though, if you don't know, she's in a cast. She was cooking in the kitchen and the crock pot bit her. So she's got stitches and surgery and things like that. So soon it'll be cooking in the kitchen with Courtney. And if she does end up going keto, it'll be cooking in the kitchen with Keto Courtney, right? Or Keto Kid. Or maybe it'll be the Cutie Pie Keto Courtney Kid, whatever. Shake, shake, shake. Now, you can batter these twice, but again, like I was saying before, battering them once, it's totally fine, okay? You'll see at the end of this that it turns out pretty well. My oil just melted, so I'll turn the burner up. Yeah. Keto Kitchen Cooking with Courtney. You know, something like that. Keto Kitchen. Maybe that's what we'll call it. I don't know. The Complete Keto Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
With Courtney. And her custard. That's right. Turning into your grandma, girl. And a couple more. So again, this can be fun for your kids, right? We have recipes online. We may be popping this recipe up as well if you guys ask for it, right? Comment below, right? Send us your comments. Send us your questions. Give us a challenge, right? Josh, we want to know how you make eggplant pizza. We've got a recipe, okay? Spaghetti squash, lasagna. We've got a bunch of different ones that we can do for you. We just don't know what direction you want us to go, so just tell us. We'll make it into whatever you want. We're here to help, right? We're not here to profit. Now, let's get to frying. So, hopefully you can see, we're using coconut oil that is third-party tested for purity, right? It's USDA organic. I don't really care if you get organic. But what's really cool is this coconut oil, guess where we got it? That's right, Walmart. And it was cheap too, okay? It was not very expensive. And again, it's non-GMO. But we're always looking on any supplements and food if we can get NSF certified or informedchoice.org certified, okay? Because again, those are different companies that are going to test all of our supplements, and they test for purity and if there's any steroids or anything funky in it, okay? And what's funny is, you know what they tested it for? If there was coconut oil in there, and guess what? There's coconut oil in there, so that's great. All right, so it's starting to get hot. Now, it happens really quick, okay? So, with your tongs, let's see what color we're going with. What color? Red, blue?
Blue.
Blue, okay? Yeah. Okay? Now, as soon as you put them in, it doesn't take very long for them to cook. We're going to go 90 seconds per side. So, fan on, okay? I'll kick it down and break our apartment rules. Open the window.
Yep.
If it's not frozen. There we go. Because it smokes a little bit, okay? Coconut oil smokes at a pretty low temperature, so we're going to go kind of quick. So if you can get a close-in shot.
How?
I don't know. Move the tripod. Our beautiful tripod. No longer connecting it to a Christmas ribbon. So it looks like we're going to have to do this in 2 batches. I was kind of hoping we could do it in 1, so I'm going to pack them in there a little bit. Now I glanced at the time and saw that it was 7:56 when I started putting them in. So I kind of know what time it is already and how much time it's been in. It's been maybe 30 seconds that some of these have been in. But again, I'm going to see if I can do this in 1 batch. And it looks like I can. So I'm only going to put it in for a little over a minute. Now, I noticed that the oil, so come on over.
I put it back.
That's all right. I noticed that the oil isn't really in the center. So I do need to add just a little bit to the center here, just to make sure that all of the chicken is getting fried. That way when I turn it over, it'll really get going. And the coolest thing about the way that I cook is I'm a cook. I'm not really a baker. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Just, you know, I use 4.5, maybe 5. You might use 3. You might use 7 tablespoons of oil. It really doesn't make too much of a difference. We just need to make sure that we slosh it around a little bit so you can see that it's fizzling. But again, right around 5 is pretty good. We've got about 15 seconds yet. Now, I've cooked them before, so I kind of know what I'm looking for. I'm waiting until it turns a little bit more brown. So I'll let it go about 20 or so more seconds before I start flipping. Now, you don't want to try to char these. They just need to be a little brown, okay? So that was our timer. We're just going to let it go for a little bit more. Now, what I like to do is when I'm all done, I like to put them on paper towel and try to get the extra oil off. because otherwise they'll keep cooking. So I'll set myself up for when this is all done to be able to do that. So let's start flipping. So again, just that they're a little golden brown, because otherwise we're dealing with the smoke factor. Again, we don't want to smoke out our neighbors. And because this oil gets super high, you don't have to worry about this chicken being raw when you're done. Because again, as soon as you flip them in that oil and they start cooking again, we're talking 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. I might go 2 minutes on this side. But again, the chances of it being raw, pretty slim, but always check your food, right? Always check, make sure it's not red when you're eating it, okay? Make sure it's thoroughly cooked. But again, more likely than not, about 2 minutes this time, and it'll be done. So, if you're a good hubby, you would you'd cut the chicken before you go back to work, you know, and have everything prepared so that you can just easily do it so your wife that's in a cast doesn't have to cut them. But I'm not a very good hubby, so she had to cut them for me. But again, if you process or cut your chicken strips already in the morning, I mean, this process has only taken us, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't take very long, okay? So again, by the time you actually start putting the batter on, and once it's all cooked, I mean, we're talking 10, 12 minutes, okay? Easy, quick meal, and it tastes really good. Plus, you can always be doing vegetables on the side. Now, we could have it in the steamer. We've already got our vegetables prepped, okay? But you could always easily have it steamed or something like that. We've got about another minute yet. So again, we're cooking. Sloshing, slipping, sliding. Again, the most important thing is that you get all of the chicken in there. So again, you might have to slosh it around, because when it's bubbling, that means it's really cooking and really getting good. Just going to keep letting her cook. So I'll flip you over, because you look like you need to flip. You look like you need to flip. Yeah, like that. That's what I'm listening for. So again, after about 20 seconds, I'll check. Now, I'm not 100% sure it'll be done, and the reason being, I started the oil really low because I was trying to explain to you guys how to do all the slip and things like that. Normally, I get that oil just boiling. It's barely starting to boil now. So again, it may need a little bit more time. So what I'll do is I'll just cut into one of the bigger ones and look. Just try to get an idea of where we're at. Yeah, and it's going to need a little bit more time. Again, the oil wasn't as hot as I normally like it. Again, it's usually just jumping out of the pan. So we'll flip it one more time, go about a minute, and it should be done. Again, we've never tried baking it. You could easily bake your chicken and possibly get chicken nuggets. Again, your kids, get some goofy looking cookie cutters, some dinosaurs or something like that. Make your own dinosaur chicken nuggets, right? Make it fun for your kids, because if you want your kids to grow up eating good food, you need to teach them at a pretty young age, right? Show them that cooking can be fun, because you know what? Even though I'm getting a little scolded, it's still kind of fun. It's fun picking on my wife too. Ha 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 ha. My wife to be. It's still cooking. So again, I know that timer went off a little bit ago, but I just want to make sure that it's fully cooked through. Again, between 3 and 5 minutes is all it takes. If you're dumb like me and don't have your oil cooking, it might take 6 minutes. But again, you're just going to have to play around with it a little bit.
Coming in. Coming in.
Coming in, she said. All right, now we should be much better. That one's good. What are we doing over here? That one's white. I think we're done. That one's white. Check a couple more. Can't really see this one. Come on, baby. That one's cooked through. Give them a quick stir. Now again, what I was saying is, now that I'm going to remove them, you can see over here I've got it set up, because once they're done cooking, we don't want them to burn. So I'm just going to throw them on here. I'm going to pat them down, and then I'll show you the end product. My fiance is not going to be happy that it might be leaking through onto the counter, but shh, don't tell her. Won't tell her that. Oops. Tells you how clean of a guy I am. All right, so let's move this so this can cool down. Please don't throw your oil into the water. It's just gonna spit and spatter and sputter everywhere. So just let it cool down a little bit. Might have to use a little elbow grease later to get it clean, but so what? Let's not start a fire in your kitchen. Okay, so let's pat these bad boys down. Yeah. And that is our fried chicken, right? Looks great. And it tastes great too. Once they cool down a little bit, they'll get a little bit more crispy. And then you can use a low sugar ketchup. You can use a low sugar barbecue sauce, whatever you got to do for your fried chicken. Again, comment below. Let us know what you want us to cook for you next in the Keto Kitchen.